Hello guys, so welcome back. So I did this video twice today actually. Took it down both times. You guys didn't get to see it. I didn't publish it. I didn't think I did good enough. Had a dream this morning and I think it was God shorthand for you do everything the hard way. There was literally a path right there. You could have walked up the path. What's wrong with you? In this dream, there's this big hill in this town. And like the whole town is on this hill. It's so big. And I am crawling up it like this, like up the side of this hill. And if you get to the top of the hill, in reality, there's really nothing there. There's like the library, but it's usually like a huge parking lot. Anyhow, I'm crawling up this hill and I have this stick with me and it has like a covered, there's something on the end, but it's like covered, it's wrapped. And I have some bags with me. And I'm trying to take them up as a sacrifice. I don't know what the hell kind of sacrifice this is. And as I'm clawing my way up this hill, and it's not this steep in real life. It's a climb, especially if you're over 40 and you never go to the gym. But it ain't that damn bad. You don't like fall on all fours and climb like a cougar. And as I'm trying to climb up this hill like this and try to take my sacrifice to the top, there's this road, but I'm not walking on the road. I have no idea why. And the Loa are coming up the road and they just walk past me and they look at me like, you're a special kind of dumb. Like they're worried about me, like she's so dumb, we're worried now. And I finally reach the top and I almost fall over because the Norse gods come up and they're looking at me too. Freya's in the lead and they're like, didn't you see the elevator? It was around the other side. And I'm almost falling over because all the gods have beat me up here, like all the gods from all over the world, universe, I don't know. Tibetan prayer flags, flying buttresses, garlands of roses, places to put sacrifice, stores. Gods love stores in my dreams. I don't know why. A restaurant. All of a sudden, I'm in this group with like 20, 30, 40 people. These are all people I know and love. I don't know who they are, but they're people I know and love, and you just accept this. And I'm like, yeah, this is my family. We go into the restaurant and they're gonna have Salisbury steak, and I love Salisbury steak, but I'm like, I have to go do this sacrifice. And I go to do this sacrifice, but to go up the hill I have to go down because it's a dream. And they have this flying buttress, and for some reason the top of the hill now is like miles and miles and miles and miles away from the town. Okay? And there's a spirit stick. I'm gonna call it a spirit stick. It looks like a drumstick almost, but it's long and it looks like there's a ball on the top, but it's covered with fabric and it's wrapped, so you can't really tell what the top should be. And at first I thought it was a Hermes one, then I'm like, no, it doesn't have the wings or the snakes or anything. It's not like a staff of office. And it was a drumstick, I think is what it was. And Coyote's been looking at me all day like, you're dumb. I like you, but you're dumb. And it was like all the gods saying, you're doing it the hard way. You didn't have to make this into this big thing. Why the hell didn't you walk up the road or take the elevator? Or, some of them were even looking at me like, I think at one point, unless I'm adding this back in, how sometimes you do that with your dreams when you wake up. I think there was like literally a huge hawk or eagle or something, and I could have ridden up. No, I had to do it the hard way. So it was like, why the hell didn't you just, come up the easy way? We would have all taken you. This is what we all keep telling you. So yeah, it was like all the gods saying, we're together. We're not having a problem getting along. You're the one doing this the hard way. One second, guys. These darn allergies. Sorry about that. And then we had stuff happen today. I've been going back and forth about Halloween because we have COVID, and I'm like, oh my god, what are we supposed to do? Because we have schools closing down for a couple of days because they have COVID. We have staff members getting COVID. Is it safe to have trick or treat for the kids? Is it not safe? Obviously, Coyote, everyone else, and yes, Loki still here, are like, you should put this stuff out for the kids. And I'm like, yeah, I know, but, nobody really, half the people I know are terrified of COVID, won't leave their house. The other half don't even think it's all that serious, and if you could put a pile of COVID on the floor, they would just roll around in it because they're not afraid of it. I got halfway in between, though I agree with my one friend that's really not concerned. She says, we're told to be afraid and wear our mask everywhere, and I did. I masked up when I went out today because I took someone out today. She said, "But you go in a restaurant, you sit down and you take a mask off." And I said, "Yeah, I know." I said, "I'm still trying to figure that one out." I said, "I know, like they're hitting bars for it, closing bars and clubs down, and yet restaurants." A lot of restaurants are doing the right thing. They're having outside stuff like that, and the DQ was open again. But it's kind of weird. Do you know what I mean? It's like some people are getting like a free pass, do whatever you want, and some people are saying, no, you can't do that because of COVID. So it just doesn't feel like it's being distributed equally. And here, there's no restrictions. The governor wouldn't be firm enough to say yes or no. So they're going to do the whole shebang. The kids are going to have the parade, they're going to have the party, and they're going to have treats already. So it's not like the kids won't get treats, whatever side we fall on. But here comes the rest of the story. You guys are patient. I asked my mom. I said to my mom today, I said, Mom, should I do trick or treat? And I told her all the worries. I said, this is what scientists say about COVID. This is what the CDC says about not having it on your porch and everything else. And I said, but it's going to be cold and it's probably going to be raining. So, yeah, making these kids stand on my muddy lawn, that makes a lot of sense because my driveway slopes. So I said, Mom, I don't know if I should have Halloween or not, have trick or treat or not, because I'm like, should I take my decorations down? What should I do? I said, but I need you to send me a sign. I said, I need to know whether or not I should have trick or treat for the kids. And if I do, I need to know if it should be on the porch. And I just figured this out because I'm slow. Or it should be out my yard, because I'm like, I don't know what to do, because you want to keep everybody safe. But, the kids didn't get anything else this year. So I go up to the DQ and I get my food and really not getting any sign. I did get 2 cents. I did find 2 pennies. So your 2 cents. I'm like, okay. And Coyote is with me and like, Loki's still here, but Coyote's like barnacle to me right now. And I'm like, okay, I got her 2 cents. And I come home and red-tailed hawk, is flying around singing. Red-tailed hawk was my mom's bird. She loved a lot of birds, chickadees, hummingbirds and that. She adored red-tailed hawks. So it was definitely my mom answering me and saying, yeah, um, have it at home because I hit my doorstep and red-tailed hawk is up there singing and circling and singing pretty red-tailed hawk songs, and I'm like, okay, okay. And Coyote had me put out bird seed. Unfortunately, I said to Coyote, I said, you feeding Brother Hawk? And he's like, eh. But we had put the bird seed out. Actually, they were pumpkin seeds to plant, but we put it out for the little animals. So it's definitely, yeah, have the Halloween, yeah, have it on the porch because it's going to be maybe in the 50s, but it's going to be pouring down rain in this area. And I just wanted to, confirm it. I'm like, my mom would know. My mom's an ancestor at this point, so mom would know. Dad wouldn't care two ways. My dad thought Halloween was a waste of time and money, so my mom would know. My dad got better about it later, to be fair. He got better about it later. He used to be my buddy and help me decorate. I'd taken down some of the decorations because I thought it was too much. And look, he's just been trailing around after me like, you took that decoration. Yeah, Loki, it was too much. Doesn't it look nicer now? You took that decoration. So today we're probably going to redecorate. And I said, damn it, Loki, I'm old. I'm over 40. I got arthritis. You really want me going out in the fucking cold after Halloween taking this stuff down? We will be redecorating today. I don't know. I had a day yesterday where I was achy and I was tired. And I'm looking, my decorations are older than some of the kids that'll be coming to my house. I'm like, kids don't want to see this. And you're kind of like embarrassed. I guess we could be nice and call them vintage. But I took down a lot of the stuff. I'm like, oh, this is junky. Because you see all those people like showing off that they've got like $200, $400 animatronics in their front yard. And, they've got all this money to go out and get PVC pipe. And they can dress up in all these elaborate costumes and everything else. I'm like, whatever I can cobble together from the house will be what I will wear that day. And so the wolf ears, I'll put the wolf ears on. And I just don't have that kind of money to go out like I used to and buy something nice. It used to be every year I bought something nice for Halloween. This will be the first year I didn't do it. I mean, partly COVID and partly making sure I have food for winter, because if the deliveries get crazy and they're starting to get a little crazy, not too bad, but I want to make sure I have food. So I was like, sorry kids, but it's not going to be anything new this year. And I have inflatables, but somebody walked off with my damn extension cord. It was in one place. It was in one place. It was in one place. One day it was just gone. So mysterious. I know. I have a pretty good idea who took it to. I have a neighbor who borrows things forever, never brings them back. And the guy that does my lawn sometimes forgets to put stuff back, and like you have power cords walk away, but I don't have video cameras, so I can't prove it. So to have good proof, I'm not just gonna accuse people of, hey, you walked off with my power cord. I know I threw one out, but I knew I had a good one left, and it's a good one that walked off. So we hope you guys are having a good one. Loki's letting Coyote hang out with me. We've been playing a lot of these videos, and I thought these videos were awesome. And I went to check the channel out. I shouldn't have done that. The channel went from having the Jesus crazies to First Nations power to violent First Nations power to just crazy at this point. Just whackball crazy back into the far end spectrum of end of times Christian. And I was just kind of looking at the channel, kind of side-eyeing Coyote, and kind of looking at the channel, kind of side-eyeing Coyote, and Coyote's like, what, this isn't my fault. So, but yeah, we have Coyote here a lot now, and we have Loki here, obviously, and Odin, everybody else. It doesn't feel like anyone from Greece is really coming through now, but they know they're welcome, and Ireland kind of vaguely walks through in ways, but we're trying to keep the lines of communication open, and we're definitely getting a full, this is for us, because my mother, if you would have met my mother and not known what nationality she were, you would have thought she was First Nations with some Irish thrown in, because everything for her was First Nations or Ireland. I don't know if it's a past life thing or these were the people that were kindest to her in her life because her family was shit. But definitely First Nations all the way, definitely Ireland all the way. My mom's why I know so much about any of the lore and the stories and everything. Dad was total opposite. You guys know that. The funny thing is, after my dad got cancer, he came back. He would have thought he was running to be the Pope because he was so holy and pure. And my mother and I just kept looking at him like we knew it was him because sometimes the old personality came back. But we would just keep looking at him like, I think he died and another soul jumped in his body. In fact, sometimes we would ask him questions about, are you really who you say you are? We don't care because you're nicer than the person we had, but are you another soul? He was so completely different. And we would ask the cancer doctors, we would say, you giving him estrogen? No, why? He cries all the time. Everything's emotional. He gets the mail, he cries. He shouldn't be doing that. He shouldn't be having these deep emotional things. We didn't know. It was the weirdest thing, and they couldn't tell us. They couldn't tell us if it was brain chemistry, if it was because he was in a coma before he had the cancer, or what the hell it was. He was he was really different. Now the bad temper was still there. The stuff he should have got help with was still there, but he was completely different afterwards. But he was still the same person because then when times got tough, the bad attitude came back and the anger came back. And all my life, I've had to try to fight against that tendency too. I'm like, I don't want to be daddy the second. I don't want to have that bad temper. So if I have a bad temper that day and I'm miserable, I try to at least get away from people. My father shared it with everyone. I'm like, why should everybody else have a sucky day because I'm in a bad mood? So I try to get away from people. We have been looking for games for you guys. We've been going back and forth on the schedule. There are days where we'd like to have made you 8 videos. And there are days where we have to kind of be practical and for the growth of the channel. I don't want a huge channel, but just to at least keep it healthy. We say, well, it seems like if we take off at least a day in between, it seems to help the viewers. So I don't know. You guys are free to say what you want. I kind of sometimes miss coming on every day, but it'll help me keep my mouth shut until after the election. So I don't care. You do you. I really don't care how you vote or who you vote for. Just do it with good conscience. Do it with good conscience. Don't do it for, you do what you want with your vote. I really can't tell you anything except that 4 years is a very damn long time. So think of that when you're going in there. And, if you're from outside the country, usually our news leans heavily left, heavily right, or there are a few that try to be moderate or just try to be factual, but it's really hard for anybody to resist putting a spin on anything. So, and sometimes they don't have to because some people have a Twitter account and they speak their mind. And sometimes you don't have to put a spin on it. People just say what they say, and people can judge whether they think it's good or bad or they're indifferent on their own. So there, I think that was diplomatic. So, I don't know if we won't be back on until Friday or what we're doing. Loki's going on a Loki schedule. I had this done this morning, didn't think it was good enough, so I took it down. And then went out, took Loki out, and we're going to have 2 or 3 days of weather in the 70s. And I know I said that it felt like the gods were trying to keep me in and felt like they were giving me signs to like stay in for the rest of the year. But at the same time, I'm like, hey, it's a nice day in the 70s. I won't get out of this house for months once the cold weather truly hits. There's really no social events after Halloween. That's it. There's not going to be a full crafting event. There's not going to be. Oh, excuse me. Have fast food. Sorry about that, guys. There's not going to be a fall crafting event. There's not going to be a winter crafting event. They're still having sports for the kids. They're still having Halloween for the kids, but they're trying to tell people cancel your Thanksgiving, cancel your Christmas. That's up to you. It's not my damn business. But I'm just trying to enjoy some outdoors time while we can. So if you guys like what you see, like, comment, subscribe, and I will see you later. Bye bye.